सभी के लिए बहुत ही खुशी का विषय है कि प्रोफेसर मुखोपाध्याय हमारे बीच में हैं। दिल्ली की जितनी भी डाइट्स हैं या SCRT के सदस्य हैं या बच्चों की शिक्षा से सरोकार रखने वाले जो भी व्यक्ति हैं, उनके लिए प्रोफेसर मुखोपाध्याय एक जाना माना और पहचाना हुआ चेहरा है। आप सिर्फ राजधानी दिल्ली ही नहीं बल्कि राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय शैक्षिक जगत की जानी मानी हस्ती हैं। आजादी के बाद से अब तक भारतीय औपचारिक विद्यालयी शिक्षा व्यवस्था ने जो भी उतार चढ़ाव देखे हैं, आप उनके भागीदार रहे हैं। आपके तजुर्बों का फलक बहुत बड़ा है। कलकत्ता विश्वविद्यालय से विज्ञान और रविंद्र भारती से टैगोर साहित्य की शिक्षा प्राप्त की आपने। UNDP फेलोशिप लेकर लंदन विश्वविद्यालय व इलिनॉइस विश्वविद्यालय अर्बाना शैम्पेन से पोस्ट डॉक्टरल उपाधि हासिल की। देश और विदेश के बहुत से संस्थानों ने आपके अनुभवों का लाभ उठाया, जैसे न्यूपा में संयुक्त निदेशक के पद पर रहे, बाद में उसी संस्था के निदेशक के रूप में कार्य किया। नेशनल ओपन स्कूल के अध्यक्ष पद पर रहकर उसे एक गतिशीलता प्रदान की। इंटरनेशनल काउंसिल ऑफ डिस्टेंस एजुकेशन ओस्लो के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट रहे। वाशिंगटन में स्थित इंटरनेशनल मल्टी चैनल एक्शन ग्रुप की स्टीयरिंग कमेटी के सदस्य भी हैं आप। एजुकेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी एंड मैनेजमेंट से संबंधित लगभग 22 पुस्तकों में आपके शोध कार्य और 250 से भी अधिक पुस्तकों में प्रकाशित आपके विचार परक लेख शैक्षिक विमर्श की कई कड़ियां बुनते हैं और हमारे सामने रखते हैं। आजकल आप एजुकेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी एंड मैनेजमेंट एकेडमी नई दिल्ली के निदेशक हैं। हम सभी के लिए एक फक्र की बात है कि हम आपसे मिलने के मौके तरह तरह से ढूंढ ही लेते हैं। आप भले ही कहीं भी काम करें, कितनी भी ऊंची संस्था में रहें, सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि दिल्ली की डाइट के जितने भी सदस्य हैं, SCRT के जितने भी सदस्य हैं, आप उनके दिलों में हमेशा बसते हैं और इसीलिए आपको हम याद भी कर लेते हैं। आज जो ये सेमिनार है उसके बीज वक्तव्य की नोट एड्रेस के लिए आपको हमने आमंत्रित किया है। आपके लिए विषय है रोल ऑफ प्रिंसिपल एज लीडर इन अचीविंग एक्सीलेंस इन स्कूल।
I'll depend upon 3 or 4 of my research work in this field. One research that I did some years ago on what is the role of a principal, what are the different competencies, and the paper has been published under the title Heading Schools with What Competency. My next research was on total quality management in education, which has been not only published in many different languages including Hindi. My next research was on leadership in institution building. Majority of the leadership theories are Western model based, whereas our own upbringing is substantially different. Very simple thing is, when you look at Richard Nisbet's and others' work and our own personal experience, we the Indians or the Asians grew up with our parents. Almost 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years we sleep with our parents. And often we learn to say, identify my bedroom only after marriage. Whereas a British child or an American child, my own batchmate in the village school, his child recognizes his bedroom when he first time speaks. Because by the time they are 6 months old, the child is sleeping separately with a video camera, because mother must keep an eye on the child through video camera and not through personal touches. Now, this results into 2 different types of growth of personality and our thinking style. Thinking is not culture free. A lot of people go to De Bono's theory and Abacus and all that. Thinking is essentially culture bound. And these are coming from the Western research. Richard Nisbet's work, if you happen to see, it's called Geography of Thought. Asians think differently. Asians do not think linear, self-oriented. Asians always think in terms of community. Maybe small, parents and self. Maybe parents, siblings and self. And then as we grow, we think larger. This is very much indicated in our organizations, particularly rural organizations. How do you find there are very little word like sir and madam. I am from a village school. I started my career as a village school teacher. वहाँ पे sir means a teacher. Sat does not mean a boss. It's very different. After the Vijayadashami, in my village school, my headmaster was touching the feet of the assistant teachers. So somebody asked, what is this? I said, बेचारा क्या करे? ये उनका टीचर रहे, उसी स्कूल से पास किए थे, वो अच्छी क्वालिफिकेशन, अच्छी कैपेबिलिटी, he has become principal. और जो असिस्टेंट टीचर, 4 असिस्टेंट टीचर, वो तो उनके टीचर है. तो in the open prayer function में we celebrate that one. So he was the first one to touch the feet of his teachers, then others, and then students. Now imagine, can you believe this thing can happen? Very often we don't see each other the way Western world looks at equality. The moment I look at a younger person, I either think my daughter, my sister, and the moment you see an elderly person, immediately see it with a sense of respect. Now that sense of respect and sense of affection is not equality. It's a unequal but very, very warm relationship. This understanding of our situation in the country is extremely important. Whereas in the Western world, people call each other by name. I sometimes feel very awkward when that Times Now fellow or Karan Thapar calls the ministers by name or call the senior academics by name. I find it very difficult, very discourteous. The only exception I've seen, they don't dare address Dr. Karan Singh as Karan. The day they would do it, some of us will object to it. Now, that's a different culture. So we first need to understand that Indian cultural scenario, Indian organizational scenario is dramatically different. I'll come back to this issue of leadership a little later. But first point I wanted to make is understanding Indian scenario is necessary. Whatever you talk about leadership, leadership is not for today, it's for tomorrow. What is that tomorrow? We are talking of India as a knowledge society. That's the nature of 21st century society. When you talk of knowledge society, it's a 4-layer at least: knowledge consumer, knowledge preserver, knowledge disseminator, and knowledge creator. Most of us in the schools, colleges, universities, teacher training institutions, we are simply knowledge consumer. When I was talking to somebody, a very brilliant girl was with me, they wanted to go to a school teaching. I said, जाओ, वो academic institution तो है नहीं. Sir, कैसे बात कर रहे हैं sir? हमने कहा, जी बताओ. When you go to medical store, you buy medicine. What do you call? A doctor or a medicine vendor? He said, medicine vendor. What does school do? Curriculum is given by the CBSE, textbook by NCERT, so prescription हो गया. What the teachers are doing are vending knowledge. Isn't it? It's exactly. You go to the doctor, he prescribes, doesn't give any medicine at all. You go to NCERT, it never teaches. Go to CBSE, it never teaches. It says curriculum is this textbook. Now you the vendors, vend knowledge. That's what I call either knowledge consuming or knowledge vending systems. Next is knowledge preserver, which normally happens with research a bit. Knowledge disseminator. Now this both preserving and dissemination is related to verification also, knowledge verification. You will notice in our schools and colleges, we don't verify any knowledge. Whatever is given to us, we accept it. People meekly say, NCERT kitab mein there are mistakes. But when the teacher teaches the mistakes. Kyunki NCERT se aaya hai. Without realizing, NCERT is also full of human beings. There can be an error. I don't think any error is willful. Could be ignorance, could be carelessness. But the important point is knowledge creator. The future leadership will be with the countries that create knowledge, not with the countries which consume knowledge. If you look at mid-80s, when we are working the national policy on education in this country, Japan came out with a very interesting white paper on education. they used a very interesting word called, we will reinvent wheels. Everybody says, don't reinvent wheels. It's a very common management jargon. To me, it's a foolish jargon. Reinventing a wheel has two components. One is wheel, another is reinventing. Wheel is the output, product, but reinventing is the process. By asking you not to reinvent wheel, I'm actually forestalling your capability of inventing. That's exactly what America, Britain tried to teach the world. Because Japan realized that the knowledge is created by the G6, or particularly USA, UK, Germany, France, etc. What Japan does is converts the knowledge into product. If the knowledge is blocked, what will Japan do? They realized it. So they said, we will reinvent wheels, means we will actually now produce knowledge ourselves. That knowledge production is an important issue. That's why you'll find, we the Indians may be proud of anything, but fact is we don't win Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize patenting is available only when you create knowledge, not when you are very knowledgeable. When we are studying in USA, a lot of my Indian friends used to say, how great our brains are, we can calculate much faster than the calculator. That's true. I've also experienced. In the departmental store, before they could tick-tock, we could say, okay, this many dollars, this many cents. But fact is, because we use our brains for lower order function like calculation, we don't get Nobel Prize. Because that is only available when you use it for the higher order functions. So the first important thing is, this country is trying to shift from knowledge consuming to knowledge creating country. Let us see what is the new scenario. We have problems and we have solutions. We have problems known to us. We have solutions known to us. We have problems unknown. We have solutions unknown. Now, there is a lot of combination. Known problem, known solution, every day any one of us can do. You have got the headache, normally you don't go to the doctor because you charge 200 rupees to prescribe Crocin. So you buy Crocin yourself. Known problem, known solution. Known problem but unknown solution, that's why the discovery. Can I do it better? What we do not know, if you keep on taking Crocin, what is the side effect? That's why you need to go to the doctor. Take for example, dropout has been a problem all throughout our career, all throughout our life in Indian nationhood. Is it not possible to solve? Or we have never explored? I normally used to argue with my colleagues in the ministry that the IAS officer, bureaucrats is supposed to know everything. It's not possible. It's not their fault. It's an unusual expectation. First thing in a school is attraction. Are you able to attract the children to the school? वो attracted हो जाए, then you hold them back for learning. My simple experiment was music and sports to enhance school attraction. Now, today, we are stabilized at 5% for the last 7 years. It's not going down, it's my worry. It's not going up, my satisfaction. This experiment was supported by Government of India, Ministry of Human Resource Development. It was flashed in the 2005 document, EFA document in Brazil, high-level group meeting, and drew the maximum media attention as supposed to be the best innovative experiment on arresting school dropout in rural areas. Now the question is, for this known problem, we have never explored unknown solution. It's just an example. I tried an unknown solution. But then, when my minister came and reviewed all that, he immediately sanctioned 1.75 crores to upgrade this to my West Bengal state. I called him up. I said, sir, please stop it. He said, why? I said, you have given 175 crore. You'll go to the secretary. Secretary will mark to joint secretary. Then to under secretary. Final person only knows 1.75 crores divided by 5,500 primary schools. So, sir, it comes to 3 rupees 75 paisa. So, you'll distribute it. My achievement is not 3 rupees 75 paisa. Is the management input. Is the intellectual input. Where is that intellectual input? Now, if you say that intellectual input कहाँ से आएगा, आप तो चलेगा आपके गांव में. I presented a seminar in IIM Ahmedabad called NRV model of development. NRV stands for non-resident villager. Like I'm a villager, I can assure you 60% of the staff in IITs are originally from rural areas. What do I devote in my village? My whole life? No. I do 2-3 days every 2-3 months. You can say on an average 12 days a year, and I've created a good group. The point I'm highlighting is we have a known problem, but we have not explored unknown solution, so we have lived with the problem. Unknown problem, unknown solution is the case of discovery. Known problem, unknown problem, but maybe one of our solution can be fitted in. Look at this learning scenario. I've done this, we call it rapid appraisal technique with literally thousands of teachers. Is the learning today stressful or joyful? Do you want to respond to this? Stressful, okay. Exciting or boring? Meaningful or irrelevant? Fragile or sustainable? Now look at it, all four, and you are no different. As I have tried it, thousands of teachers. We all survive this. Stressful, boring, irrelevant, fragile learning. And each one of us sitting in this room are contributing to this. Now, can't we change? My whole music and sports activity was nothing but first to make it joyful, make it exciting. At that time, actual learning did not come, so I'll not say meaningful or irrelevant. But when they started learning through music, it became sustainable. आज भी गांव के सड़क पे बच्चे वही गाना गाते हैं, which is on geography, history, mathematics, science. So it is sustainable. Now the point I was making, that school instead of knowledge vendor, it has to reconstruct itself as knowledge verifier and knowledge creator. I've been trying all this. One of the programs that I do is an alternative pedagogy which I've developed for the last 4 years of my research. How to develop thinking-based learning. At the moment is memory-based. How much you can store. Normally, as a I say knowledgeable people should be put in the museum. Unka waqt chala gaya. Now the time is for knowledge creating people. When I retired, as you know, since all of you are from Delhi and knew the dynamics, I got several offers to Vice Chancellor. I said, don't look at the old people. Bring a new generation people. Get around 40s. Put all of us as advisor. You need energy. You need dynamism. You need courage to verify, courage to question knowledge. Those of you, I normally use the word, still have the bad habit of reading, which is slowly going away, that bad habit. A beautiful book called See Only You Are Joking, Mr. Feynman. It's on Richard Feynman, the Nobel laureate physicist, history. In one of his lectures in Brazil, he said, I didn't see anybody learning physics in Brazil. So the minister concerned in his reception said, what do you mean? Physics is a compulsory subject. He said, all right, I correct myself. I saw millions of students learning to write physics examination, but none learning physics. See, again asked, what is this? He said, I've never find a single person challenging Newton's laws of motion. He said, how can you challenge that? He said, why not? It's not my law. I'll verify. If I see Newton was correct, I'll say, oh, Newton was correct. But verification is necessary. During my interaction with the teachers here, as I mentioned, alternative pedagogy, I asked them a question, how do you test Newton's third law of motion? Every action has equal and opposite reaction. If you look at US books, they talk of satellite. We talk about tennis ball thrown into the wall. Come across any book, you will not see Charles law, Boyle's law demonstration is through pressure cooker. We don't relate it to things. Now, similarly, the going to knowledge creation. I was, as a consultant to British Council, I was visiting a couple of schools in Britain and conducting a training program for the principals. So in one of the classes, a 7th grade child, they are working on the torchlight. So So everybody was drawing, so I asked the teacher what will happen. He said, I'll give them 3 months time. They have to actually make a torch light and hold a show. So one tiny girl said, Madam, is it necessary that I have to follow the same circuit diagram? Madam said, not necessarily, I'll give you 6 months. But you have to create a torch. There is no concession. At the end of the class, I asked this madam, you know her response. She said, Professor, we don't know. This tiny girl is tomorrow's Nobel laureate. If I ask her, follow the same diagram, she will never win the Nobel Prize. So it's my responsibility to allow her, give her more time, more resources, because I don't know what's the future for her. Now that is knowledge creation. A 7th grade child is creating a new torchlight. This is the first point that I was talking about, is the new scenario of learning, new scenario of the school, new scenario of our cultural setting. Next issue, I am getting into the principles. Principal is a leadership position, and our research on management of change clearly indicates, and that was my area of doctoral research. Subsequently, I've done a couple of more researches on that field. If you take statistics, we use a word called variance. 57% of total variance of a school is counted by principal's own qualities and attributes. Same teacher, same student, change the principal, it undergoes change. I've heard a lot about, I've never met Rashmi earlier, but today I met for the first time, but I've been hearing how she is turning around. Why? That's leadership. Now, important point is, are all principals leaders? With the change of the leadership or change of the principal, some schools go up, some schools remain wherever they were, and some also go down. There's some school, model school somewhere near the old Delhi area. So once there was some examination of my son, I had gone there and I found the school is, we are sitting in the open sun, but completely sprinkled with water, tables are, benches are very clean and all that. I did not want to reveal my identity because they will know the moment I say I am so and so. I just waited. When the entire thing was over, I went and asked the principal, how did you do this? And the children were serving water. See, he made a very interesting statement. My Hindi may not be that good as he told. He said, Sir, गरीबों के घर में क्या मेहमान नवाजी नहीं होती है? If I come to a poor school, does it mean that we don't treat you properly? Then he narrated. He called his students, 12th grade students, that tomorrow there is an examination, a lot of parents will come. What do you do with them? I want them to be feeling good. So the 12th standard students said, Sir, you take care of the examination, we take care of the parents. Somehow this word spread to the 11th grade students and they came and said, Sir, इन लोगों का इम्तिहान है, इनको रहने दीजिए. We take care. They took care. After about 2 months, I was in another school of the Delhi government, full of cow dung and I can't tell you what it is. I asked the same question after the examination over. The principal told me, Sir, हम क्या करें? ना तो पियोन है, ना चौकीदार है, ना कोई है. I said, yes, I appreciate. ये बहुत मुश्किल से काम कर रहे हैं. When I come back, I write these two cases as a contrast. Both have the same provision. But one thinks the school is his. गरीबों को घर है. The other thinks he is on the job. The other principal thought, he is on the job. पियोन नहीं है तो हम क्या करें? चौकीदार नहीं है तो हम क्या करें? दूसरे थॉट, ये मेरा घर है, गरीबों का है तो क्या हुआ? Now here is the difference between principal as a leader and principal as one of the servants. This is one of my research, as I mentioned to you. We did a detailed analysis of a principal's job. We identified about 54 different competencies. This was involved about 450 principals from private schools, Kendriya Vidyalayas, some of Delhi administration. There are basically 8 areas that you work on. One is academic management. When I talk to the principal, normally this does not come at all. Principal normally jumps onto the 3rd and the 4th. Financial management बहुत important है. Reason is majority of the principals are unfamiliar with the finance. Nothing surprising, I am in the same boat with you. When I was an NOS chairman or NIPA director, I used to look at a person whom I can depend or trust. Now, these are the 7 or 8 areas in which we do the analysis. The quality management is on-site and ICT management, it cuts across all the levels. If you look at a principal, his or her basic areas are task management, resource management, task means examination, curriculum, completion of the curriculum, all those kind of, and the relationship management, so that school becomes a nice place to live. Now coming to the basic leadership model, the first important point is a large number of people are administrators. A few are managers and then leaders. The difference is administrators are normally bothered with rules and regulations. And essentially they live in the past. For example, if you look at a Societies Registration Act, next word is of 1860. I got my organization FCRA clearance and I found one of the clauses you cannot publish. So I told the FCRA people, please withdraw it. A professor cannot publish, what does he do else? He said, don't bother about it because it is 1840 or something. When it was British rule, so British rule naturally don't want you to write against them. But we have not changed. There's a rule, many of you may be familiar. Laptops cannot be given to anybody less than joint secretary. This rule was joint secretary is normally at the age of mid-40s to late 40s. That's the range when a person becomes joint secretary. Aajke joint secretaries are very well aware of computer. But I'm talking of 1986, 87, when we are around that kind of a. Now the question is, a person who cannot use laptop is entitled to laptop. A person who can use is not entitled. In many organizations, laptop is given to the seniors and not the juniors. हमने कहा ये क्या तरीका है? In NIPA, what I did was, I had to follow, but then I made it such a massive that modern laptops went to the juniors and older variant laptop went to the seniors. And I took it last, जबकि मेरे पास laptop नहीं था, as joint director, I could have taken, but I thought let it go to the younger generation. They're so good about it. Now today this rule, even if it's there, it is good enough because all joint secretaries are young people. They come with a lot of computer skills. But imagine 85, 86, आप लोगों में जो I know one or two of you, they used to be neatly covered with plastic seats so that उसमें मिट्टी ना घुस जाए. And those days the price was 65,000 to 70,000 each desktop. Now that's the past. Because they look at the rules and regulations for the past. Many times, in many organizations, what is the remuneration for a lecture? 1 rupee 50 paise, 1 rupee 150 rupees. So I said, bhai, isko rakh lo. Because, and they are helpless. What can they do? Because that is the rule. They don't see the whole world has changed. Managers, as in the present, they keep on managing day-to-day affairs of the organization. And leaders are merchants of vision. Now if you look at this diagram, it has more than one meaning. For the administration, that is the life. For the administration, is all the time bothered about rules, regulations and that kind of thing. For manager, administration has become a smaller subset of total management. And for a leader, it has become a subset is management, another subset is administration. It's not excluded, but it is inclusive. That is one of the very important